Now, for everybody watching, this is really important. If you are a teenager, or you're in your early 20s, or you are a parent or a grandparent of teenagers and people in their 20s. Because really, ultimately, don't you want to either set up yourself or your loved ones for success and happiness? I would say that's an easy yes to answer. I'll answer it for you. And so today I wanted to actually interview Debbie on a magical thing that she has created as a resource for young people, specifically to help them on their way. Because let's just face it, we send our kids to schools, whether they are private or public, doesn't matter. They don't teach our kids how to handle money. They don't set ourselves up for success down the track. And ultimately, we all know when push comes to shove, if you have money, you got opportunities. If you don't have it, guess what? You're basically hamstrung. And so we want to get people on their way very soon. So Debbie, where is this all coming from? You obviously, came up with a vision to create a program called Teenage Millionaire. Where did it all come from?
Bram, we had children. we've had teenagers. I guess it's sort of more wanting them to have and understand a plan and visually as well, because it was a good way to explain the benefits of doing this, especially in their set of values, being that we each have a unique set of values. Our kids need to hear it in a way that talks to them. It's really important. You can't just sort of blanket information that you want to get across. It's actually got to be somewhere that taps into something that's really important to them. And so it was important that they could understand why this strategy would actually benefit them in the long run.
Absolutely. Hey, I remember one of the resources that you and your lovely husband, Arthur, shared with me once, where it talked about the compound effects. And it was two graphs of two ladies. Yeah. One who started very early, let's say 18 years of age, saved up $1,000 or whatever for 20 months in a row, and that was it. 20 grand parked in an account at 10% return, and just let it sit there until she was ready to retire. Yeah. Then the other person saved up 4 times that much, but started later.
Yes.
Only to come out short by several hundred thousands of dollars. I was mind blown by that. So, tell us a little bit more about this. Like, the point is, the sooner people start, the better they're going to be off. So
absolutely. I think, sort of that scenario is just the beautiful way of encapsulating the concept of actually starting early. But also what it does is it actually gives foundational or just practical strategies for the kids to be able to then apply it to other parts of their life that they want to, sort of whether they want to buy a house or an investment property, or all of those fundamental teachings become part of who they are as they sort of grow and earn more money. If they can allocate sort of savings and investing, the outcome in 20 years to 40 years time is just phenomenal, and that compounding effect is just so powerful that they don't have to do any more. They only have to do the basics, and the rest is done for them, and that's the beauty of it. So we sort of have the situation where the earlier you start, the obviously the better off you're going to be. But if you didn't start early, don't not start, because that's really important too. You don't want to be in your 30s and go, oh well, it's all over now, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You'll just have to do it in a different way, and in a slightly different structure, but the fundamentals are still completely the same. So compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, because it is just such a powerful thing that people don't appreciate what it can do for them.
That's it. And so what you're saying is, rather than being a person that hopes for the future to pan out, hopes for you to marry well and marry into money, yes, hoping that you will be able to go 3 times on a holiday, to Bali or, Europe or US or whatever it might be. Hope is not a strategy. What you're saying is it's all about knowing what to do and following the process.
Yeah.
So in your program, so obviously you created a resource called Teenage Millionaire. And I personally love the name. The name is so good. Teenage Millionaire. Tell us a little bit more, like, what can people expect should they come on board and not only do the course, but also tap into the wonderful community that you are creating? It's still in the early days, but you obviously are very passionate about this thing to carry it into the world. So what can people expect?